The fact that I'm a migrant does not make me any less of a person. The fact that I studied my nursing in a different country does not make me less of a nurse.
Me going home, I shedded tears. Like, I was crying. I was like asking myself, why am I here? Like, back home, I was a queen. When you're being bullied and you're not doing anything, it keeps piling up, and it has a way of affecting you.
Huh?
And it has a way of affecting your productivity as well.
Of course. Hello beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of my traumatic experience. Thank you so much for everybody who has tuned in to watch today's episode, and thank you also so much to everybody who have watched the previous episode. I do appreciate all your comments, and I do appreciate all the lessons that we've learned from it. That's the whole point of this series. My name is Ada, and thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, okay? Like this video, and if you do find any value in this channel, please subscribe to it, share it to your friends, share it to your families here in the UK, healthcare workers who are definitely going to benefit from these experiences. Okay, so without wasting much time, I'm going to be talking about our host here today. We'll have somebody who wants to refer to as Jenny Love. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for honoring our invite today and for coming here to share your experience with us. So Jennifer has been in the UK for nearly 6 years working as a nurse. And she has been both in the nursing home sector, and she's also been in the trust. Yeah. So whatever she's going to be sharing for us here today definitely is going to span, it's going to be from somebody who has had like multiple experience from different sector. And I'm sure we definitely have a lot to learn from this. Jennifer does have a YouTube channel as well, and I will be leaving the link to her channel or the description part of this video, and I will also be tagging her. So please, if you want to hear more about her, you want to tap into her experience from this number of years of being in the UK and providing service in the NHS as well, please follow her. Okay guys, subscribe to her channel. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for being here. We are so appreciative. Thank you so much. And in your nearly 6 years of being in the UK, I'm sure you've had some terrible experiences. You've had those days when you just feel like going over to the toilet to cry. Yeah. You've had those lots. That's the thing. A lot of people have this. Oh God. These terrible experiences. You'll be thinking like, no, it's not there, until you actually like have a one-to-one with people. So do you want to share any of these experiences with us today that we can actually learn something from, and how these experiences were handled and how you had it all sorted?
First of all, thank you all so much for having me. Thank you for having me on
You're
your
welcome.
Today. So, like Ada said, I'm Jennifer, a practicing nurse here in the UK. So I've been here nearly 6 years, and I have had loads of experiences.
Right.
Loads and loads of ugly ones as well.
Ugly, that's the word. Ugly experiences.
Ugly ones, yeah. So one of them, I don't know which one to talk about, but I would pick one, which was really, really like
astounding.
Oh, it nearly like at that point I felt like going back home. Oh. So it happened in one of the homes where I was working, and then as a migrant, as a newly qualified, even before I qualified, when I mean qualified, before I got my PIN, I was being treated as a carer. I cared for people as a carer on the floor for 8 months.
Okay.
But after that, I got my PIN, and one of the nurses there, supposedly a senior, decided to be putting me on 8 days shift. 8 days shift.
That's more than a week on a stretch. Oh my God.
Stretch.
That's even illegal.
Yes.
That's illegal.
You know, being new then.
Yeah, you don't even know your rights.
I was like, why am I here?
I'm here to walk.
That's the thing. Make money. That's where a lot of us
go wrong.
So I was taking it, but whenever I get a little break, I'll get into the toilet and start wailing. After wailing, I'll come and clear my eyes and continue. But one day I summoned up courage to like confront her and ask her, why are you putting me on this shift 8 days straight?
8.
Do you know her response to me? Well, Jennifer, you're not a staff here. I will first of all give my girls shift, and whatever is left, I will give it to you.
You're not a staff. I don't understand. Like how?
I was like,
somebody sponsored you all the way from Nigeria to the UK to be what?
So I was like, what am I doing?
What am I doing here? Who am I?
Why did they bring me? And I'm like,
what is she saying?
Then I left. I took it on my way going home that day. I was shedding tears.
Can you imagine the audacity? Like, I need to give my girls.
Yes.
Oh my God. You see, it's so hard being an immigrant. I tell people, like,
very, very hard.
In as much as we are very grateful to actually, like, come out here to explore our skills and learn and all that. We can't forget the fact that it's really hard being an immigrant.
Very, very
you see, that discrimination is all that you're not 100% ever accepted. Okay, you're always the outsider, no matter how much you try to fit in. You're always the outsider. Please, darling, go on.
So on my way going home, I shedded tears. Like, I was crying. I was like asking myself, why am I here? Like, back home, I was a queen.
Oh God.
Treated like,
tell me about it.
Everybody wants to work with Jennifer. Everybody, even the previous places I worked, they single me out to take care of, top people. And here I am. Some people are looking at me as if
looking down their nose.
Anyway, I didn't say anything because of the African mentality of, I don't want trouble.
I don't want trouble.
I don't want anything. That's another place we go wrong. And because I'm a migrant, this particular staff would always, if I'm not on the same building with her or on the same floor with her, she would usually come and find me wherever I am being posted.
Why?
Just to pick on me.
Just to pick on you?
Yes. Just
terrible.
To pick on me. So on that fateful day, she never calls me a nurse. She never called me a nurse.
Yeah, it was so difficult for them to accept that fact. A lot of them struggled with accepting the fact that whenever we come down, usually we get started as healthcare assistant, right? And then we had to be inducted by healthcare assistants into the job. And then when we get our pay, and then we qualify and become nurses. So you see these healthcare assistants who have been in the home, then they find it so difficult to accept the fact that you are now a nurse. So it's so difficult for them to receive, to what you give out their location. It's so difficult for them to see you, send them on things or ask them to do stuff. It's very difficult to accept that.
Very difficult.
I experienced a lot of that as well,
And it becomes worse when a fellow nurse who is supposed to be working with you as a team, who is supposed to see you as a team member,
is the one picking.
Is now the one backing them up to go against you. So it gives them the wing. So whatever you do,
nothing,
you're below that. So on that fateful day, I was still on the floor despite having my pin, but I was doing it with all happiness, all joy. Then that fateful day, I heard the buzzer go, and I saw some girls there.
Okay.
So I was like, okay.
They can take care of it.
Yes, they can because I saw the room number where the buzzer was going off. I said, okay. So girls were there, so they can take care of it. So I continued documenting what I was documenting. And then there she came along and was like, oh, look at the nurse sitting down there doing nothing and emergency buzzer is going on. At first, she referred to me as a nurse.
So this was strange coming.
I was like, is she referring to me? I then turned. Excuse me, are you referring to me? Yes. What are you doing there? Emergency buzzer is going on. Before then, one of my co-worker told me, Jennifer, if you want to survive here, you need to learn how to speak up for yourself.
Yeah, at some point you just have to.
It was at that moment, that it just passed on my head.
You were like, I've had enough.
What are you doing? I stood up. I'm like, oh, so I'm a nurse.
Good.
That's by the way. Now, which room number is buzzing? This is the room number that is buzzing. And when did the emergency buzzer sound change?
Yeah, because this is like a normal buzz.
This is a normal buzz. So, what are you saying? And there are people standing there and having a chat. They could have as well answered
the buzzer, yeah.
And thirdly, in fact, I gave her like 4 reasons. Then fourthly, that was not
your
my
patient.
unit.
Your unit, okay.
So you're like, look at what the nurse is saying. I say, oh, so you can acknowledge now that
I'm a nurse. Let's start from there.
Oh, I just flared up. And
Yeah.
me, whenever I flare up, my voice goes.
It's not just you, my darling. It's like, it's a Nigerian thing.
It's a Nigerian thing, it is.
It's a Nigerian thing. Whenever I get a tiny bit upset, my voice goes this way, and then even anybody close to me be like, yes, she's so aggressive.
I didn't care because yes, that's what they would be.
Yeah, that's the word.
She's so aggressive.
She's so aggressive. She's always at the edge. I've been told that so many times.
But I was like, damn.
Yeah, I've had enough.
I was ready to go. I was ready to throw in the towel. I just told her, I've had enough. Since I came here, you've been picking on me, you've been doing this, and you know one thing is, when you confront a bully,
they hate confrontation.
They mellow down.
They can't stand confrontation.
They give you your way. And that was exactly what happened.
That was the end of it.
That was the end of it. Although there were under the carpet,
yeah, comments
and schemings,
plannings,
but at the end of the day, God came through for me.
Right.
Because God never forsakes his own.
He never forsakes his own. Thank you so much for sharing this experience with us. You see, that's the thing. The moment you're able to actually summon courage to confront a bully at work, that's only when you can have peace.
Exactly.
And until you're able to actually summon that courage to do it, you can never have peace. So in as much as you're worried, you don't want any issues, you don't want to be taken to Northern American Council, you don't want issues to actually escalate, you should also be able to know when an issue is already escalating, and to know that if you don't actually confront, hit it back head to head, it's never going to stop.
Yeah, I want to check in something there. When you're being bullied and you're not doing anything, it keeps piling up, and it has a way of affecting you. And it has a way of affecting your productivity as well.
Of course.
So if you're afraid of, you don't want to get into trouble, you don't want people to take you to NMC and all the rest, have you thought of what happens to your productivity by the accumulation of that bullying you're getting? If, for instance, due to the dampened spirit you're having,
you make mistakes at work.
What do you think will happen?
What do you think will happen?
You now go and carry Mr. A's medication
and give to Mr. B.
What do you think will happen?
You know what happens when you're being bullied by somebody at work? Whenever you check the rota and you find out that you're on shift with this person, your spirit is already down.
Yeah.
You don't even want to come to work.
Yes.
You don't even want to come to work. You're already, no matter what happens, you can never get yourself up.
No.
You're already coming to work in a very sober and in a very down spirit. And at this point, you are exposing yourself to a lot of mistakes.
Yes.
You're exposing yourself to a lot of harms. You can make so many errors. Seeing the person alone has already thrown you off balance, because you're like, what is he going to say I've done again today? Yeah. What is also going to be my fault again today? But until you actually stand up for yourself, it's not going to. And something else about bullies at work is they try to also coerce other members of staff to join. They try to coerce other members of staff to join and bully you. And if you don't stand up to that one person, how then are you going to be able to stand up when it's now a whole team bullying you? How then are you going to be able to stand up for a whole village, for 12 members of staff bullying you? And I know this thing where, because we are Africans or because we are Nigerians, so to say, where my voice is quite loud. Yeah. I know what happens when I'm upset. It's, so at times they give you this passive aggressive kind of answer. I'll be like, oh, you're always at the edge. You're always, respecting that. But I'd rather be at the edge. So that way I'm like, keep off. Keep off. Yeah. You see these dogs where they have the sign where they're like, dogs at watch. Keep off. Okay, just keep off. Let's be professional, okay? Yeah. The fact that I'm a migrant does not make me any less of a person. The fact that I studied my nursing in a different country does not make me less of a nurse, okay? So the fact that I'm also new to a team does not also make me less a member of a team.
Exactly.
Okay, so you cannot keep undermining people simply because they are migrants. And until migrants begin to actually stand up, speak up for themselves, it's never going to end. Guys, I do hope we've learned something from this story today, guys. What's your parting word for us, Jennifer?
If you are a victim of bully, it's best you nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
Because one thing with this bullies is they see something great in you. They see something unique in you, which they are feeling jealous or they are feeling intimidated about. And the best form to defend themselves is by attacking you.
Right.
So if you let them attack you, it keeps going. And the more it keeps going, there's a problem there.
There's a problem.
And your productivity will be reduced. So my advice is, if you notice that someone is bullying you, that tiny voice in you will definitely tell you that this is a bully. It's best you nip it in the bud. If your voice is loud, or maybe louder than mine, or as we explained, there's a way you can do it quietly. Example, please, I don't like the way you're speaking to me. Don't do it again. And be firm.
And there's nothing wrong with saying that. It doesn't matter how old. It doesn't matter how old the person is. It doesn't matter how many years the person has actually worked in the system. I had this
age does not matter in this country.
No, it doesn't.
Age does not matter abroad.
I had this
so
healthcare assistant I happened to work with in an agency shift sometime, and just while we're working, something happened. We were trying to position a patient. Now this patient had a surgery, right? And she was moving the patient towards the part where the patient had surgery, and you can obviously see that the man was sore on that part. So I'm like, no, I don't think that's comfortable. Why don't we do it this other way? And do you know the response I got? She's like, oh, I've been in this unit since 1988. Do you know what that means? It means that she's actually been in that unit long before I was born.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
remind me that.
I'm like, what has that got to do with what's actually happening here? You are doing something the wrong way, and I'm pointing it out to you that what you're doing is wrong, and you're reminding me that you've been in the unit even before I was born. So frankly, it doesn't really mean how long you've been in the unit. It doesn't mean how old you are. If you're making a mistake, and if you're working with somebody that is doing something wrong, please speak out.
Yeah.
Because if there is ever going to be an issue, you know this thing where they say you're the one who has the pain to lose. Have you ever been told that?
Yes. Couple of times.
So many times I've heard that comment. And usually whenever you tell me that, when I was new in the country, I would just withdraw, and then I would sit down and I would think, because of course I don't want to go back home, right? So whenever they tell me you're the one that has the pain to lose, oh God, you've killed me when you tell me that. But now, if you tell me that, we are taking it up.
Oh yes.
We are taking it up, because now you're threatening me. It's actually, I do refer to that now as a threat. So if you tell me that, be ready, because it's game on. Guys, you just have to learn to speak up for yourself. So if you've been watching this video to this point and you haven't already liked it, guys, I'm giving you a second now. Give them a second to like it. Please like this video, and please hit the subscribe button. Also share this videos, okay, to other migrant healthcare service providers here in the UK, just so you know you are not alone. There are other people who are in similar situations. And also, guys, if you've had any such terrible situation you want me to share on this page for people to learn, please hit out to me on my email. I'll be leaving the link of my email as well. We can do it. It doesn't matter where you are. We can also do it over Zoom. We just want to let these informations out there so people know they are not alone, and so that people are encouraged to actually speak up when they find themselves in terrible situations. So Jennifer, thank you so much for being here today, and I will also leave the link of our channel in the description part of the video. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I will see you in my next episode. Bye-bye.